Hey guys, Neeley here. I was just sitting here in the Classic Metal Show studio checking out the website of our latest sponsor, Rock Gear. That's right, if you're a rock fan and you like to wear rock and roll memorabilia, Rock Gear is the place to go. They have a whole line of great merchandise over there that I think that anyone who is a fan of rock would appreciate. They have t-shirts of all your favorite bands, and every product in the store is officially licensed, so while you're shopping for your favorite band t-shirts online, you're supporting the bands. How great is that? And Rock Gear is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. If you're unhappy with any order, for any reason, you just got to contact them. They'll send you a replacement or refund your order. All you have to do is send an email to support@rockgear.store. And not only that, they offer free shipping on all orders in the U.S. over $35. Now, there's a value in itself. And speaking of value, Rock Gear is offering Classic Metal Show fans a 10% discount on your order if you use promo code ClassicMetal. Now, that's badass. So go over there to rockgear.store and make your order today.
It's brand new London right here on your Classic Metal Show from the CD that just officially came out yesterday. Call That Girl with Metal Nation. And kicking off the show, we heard brand new Metal Church with Damned If You Do. And a guy who has that give a damn attitude is my good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
What is up, sir? How are we?
It's Saturday. It's time to rock out. The weather's getting cold and shitty.
Yeah, that means we'll have big audiences starting soon again, right?
Yeah, well, people, are done doing their summer stuff now because it's getting cold out.
Yeah, I had to pull out the hoodie for the first time. I bought a new hoodie over the summer because it was cheap, and today was the first day to officially use it because it's cold.
I woke up this morning and looked at the thermostat in the house, and it was 58 degrees in the house.
And you were like, fuck that, I'm not paying any more than this. Where's my coat? Where's my extra socks?
Right. Well, I stayed in my bedroom a good part of the day, and, I have a king-size heated water bed, so I just watched documentaries again today. I'm getting into a bad habit of doing that on Saturdays.
That's your new Saturday thing, being a lazy bum?
Yeah, pretty much. Today's watching fare was Breaking Las Vegas.
I don't even know what that is.
That's a series. It was run on the Biography channel.
Yeah.
And it chronicles all kinds of people who figured out ways of beating the system or beating the odds in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So there were, I guess there was 6 or 8 of them that I watched where different people came up with different things, from counting cards to one of the most fascinating one was a couple of kids. Yeah. They were literally kids, 19 years old. Okay. They were students in physics.
Okay.
And the one kid had this idea that if he could figure out the rhythm or the speed of a ball on a roulette table, he could figure out where it would drop.
Jesus.
And so he came up with all these algorithms and stuff. Now, mind you, this was in the 70s, okay?
Yeah.
And not only were they savvy with physics and whatnot, they were also savvy with early computing.
Okay.
And so what this guy did is he went to like a casino and he was watching the roulette table, and he would he had like a speaker, like a microphone. He had a microphone, and he stood there and watched the roulette table, and basically every time the ball passed a certain point on the roulette wheel, he would tap it. Just so, and what he would do is he would figure out the speed of that ball. He figured out the velocity of that ball.
But couldn't that just change by the way the ball's released every time?
That is true, but then he figured out what the average speed of the actual roulette wheel was,
Yeah.
And so what he did is when the roulette wheel, say like a group of numbers on the roulette wheel passed a certain point, he would tap on the microphone. And then what he did is he figured out some kind of algorithm which he fed into like a little computer that showed where the two would meet.
Jesus, that's an awful lot of work just to win a couple bucks.
Well, they worked on it. He and his friend worked on it for close to 2 years.
Yeah.
And then what they did is they actually came up with like a mini computer that would, what he did was he put like some kind of a switch that he ran down into a shoe. And then he had a friend sit next to him, and he would sit there, and as the ball passed a certain point on the roulette wheel, he would tap his foot, which would cause an impulse, feeding the computer, telling the computer this is how fast the ball is spinning. So he would tap the thing, and then and then it would feed a solenoid on his friend. And that's where the friend would know to put the bet on the roulette wheel.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought, and I've played roulette exactly twice in my life in a casino, because I just find it to be, you might as well just throw your money and let somebody else pick it up.
Right.
You know, because it's so stupidly hard to figure out. It's total guess in my world. But don't you have to bet before they put the ball down?
Well, you have to get your bet in before the ball stops spinning.
I thought you had to get your bet down before it dropped into the roulette spin thing.
They apparently, you have like a certain amount of time to place your bets.
Oh.
And so it was enough time to where he could calculate the speed of that ball and calculate the speed of the wheel.
Shit.
And then the computer computed those two inputs just from the tapping of his foot.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it would. But what they did is they bought a regulation size roulette wheel.
Oh, and then timed it at home.
They timed it at home, and they had like microphones over top of it and cameras, all kinds of stuff. And they figured out it wasn't a sure thing every time, but it got you within one or two numbers of where you had to be.
Tell me that they at least won like $3 or $4 million.
No, they didn't win that kind of money. This was in the 70s, so they won, maybe $10,000 or $15,000 over a summer.
Right.
Which was a lot of money for 70. I think it was like 78 or 79, something like that.
Right.
I mean, it was crazy, but I mean, it was just that they had enough ingenuity within themselves to figure out what the rhythm of the ball was and what the spin of the wheel was, to where it would basically match up.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
and they figured out how to make the computer compute those that input and give you an idea where the ball was going to drop.
Just seems like if they were that smart, they could have gone over to the fucking 7-card table and figured out the count.
Well, that was another thing too, is that they there was another one about counting cards.
Yeah.
This professor, way back in the 60s, when computers were the size of a whole room, he worked on all this input as to how the probability of winning blackjack, and what needs to be done, and when to place a bet and when not to place a bet, and all this and that. And he figured it out that at a certain point you have to play for so long,
right?
But at a certain point you would almost be guaranteed to win. Okay,
yeah. But that has a whole lot of different features to it, not features, but probabilities, depending on what the guy next to you does.
That is true.
Because the guy next to you, if you get some fucking idiot that's hitting on 18, that fucks up your play.
Right. Well, it basically came down to counting the cards and
Sure.
this and that, and they challenged the law of counting cards because they were getting thrown out of casinos and stuff because they were winning too much.
Wow.
And so there was a whole legal issue with it, and he wrote a whole book, and this guy was so smart that they tell in the prologue, or after this thing is over, they tell you what happened to these people.
Right.
And he went on to be some kind of big hedge fund manager, and his personal wealth is like a couple $100 million.
Nice.
So
he figured out a different way to gamble and make money.
Yeah, more or less. But that's kind of how I spent my afternoon, is watching these people who figure out, what it takes to win,
right?
Beat the system and whatnot. And there's a lot of smart folks out there.
Yeah, there are.
But
none of them here, but
but it was pretty good.
No, that's cool. Well, it sounds like you had more fun than me. I did shit today. Work, and I had the Shield running in the background, but I was just working. That's it. Sorry if that's very uninteresting, but that's what I did today. I signed a new customer on Friday, and I had to do his setup today and tomorrow. So.
Right. No nap this time?
I took about an hour.
Yeah.
I laid down about 7. Took a nap till about 8 and got up and was like, fuck it, I'll just drink coffee. I'll be fine.
Well, tonight on the show, we got a couple of guests.
We do.
You talked Eric Ferentinos into coming on the show.
Yes, big fan of the show, as well as Stephen Piercy's guitarist.
Right. And what is it that he wants to talk to us about?
View to a Thrill, the new Piercy record.
Oh, so he wants to do some press for the new record.
I don't know. I mean, it was one of those things. Dude, with any of these guys that we're friendly with, I always put it out there. Doors open anytime.
Right. And
he was like, hey, how about Saturday? I was like, okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sure. Why
it's not like official press, I guess, but it's not booked through a publicist or anything. It was just him and I shooting the shit.
Right.
And so yeah, but he's proud of that record. He's proud of Smash, and I don't think we've ever had him on.
No, I've invited him. I've invited him when I've talked to him face to face. It's just like, sure. Yeah, dude, you're welcome to come on anytime.
Yeah, and talk about somebody that listens to the show. He's a fan of the show, so for him, he'll know right away that he's allowed to say fuck. That's for sure.
Right, exactly. And then we got author Mark Eglinton coming on.
Yes.
And he's going to talk about what the Judas Priest KK Downing book?
Yeah. It's called, let me pull it over here. It is called Heavy Duty Days and Nights in Judas Priest.
Nice.
And KK Downing is like, every single interview now, KK is just shitting on Judas Priest. So figured it might be a good time to talk to Mark and, just get his take since he, co-wrote the book with KK.
Yeah, it's too bad that things get to the point to where somebody gets embittered about, their life's work.
Right.
Literally, if you think about it, KK was the founding member of Judas Priest.
Sure.
And, to be embittered about the current lineup or where Judas Priest is today, that's kind of sad.
It's a bummer. Especially, and I said this to KK when I talked to him a couple weeks ago. It's more of a bummer because Judas Priest was one of those bands that, generally was not a TMZ type of a band. They were very quiet about their business. They always kept to themselves. They really didn't, they really didn't air their dirty laundry ever. And for this to be going on now is just sad.
It is. I mean, we've talked about it on the show many times recently about, is Judas Priest anymore?
Right.
Without Glenn and without KK.
Yeah. And it just seems like it's all falling apart now. You got every single day there's a new KK interview with him just shitting on the band, past and present. Now, did you see Ripper this week? Ripper said he's going to re-record fucking Jugulator and Demolition because Judas Priest pretends like they don't exist.
Yeah, I know. I did see that.
And you know what? He's right. You can't, I don't think they're on any of the streaming services or anything. If you don't own them, they don't exist now.
Right, of course.
So, he's technically right. They're just pretending that time period doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I guess what it is they're trying to purify the brand or something.
Yeah, but you can't purify the brand when the most current thing is featuring, two schlubs. You know, you can't purify the brand with the guitar tandem of Richie Faulkner and Andy Sneap.
Right.
That's not purifying the brand.
Yeah. I don't know. I it's just got down to the point to where, you got people like Ozzy out there still touring around solo, and he's falling apart on stage, and then you got Kiss.
Yeah.
And, obviously Paul Stanley is having his issues, and they're falling apart on stage, and
right.
Just Judas Priest don't have two of the most crucial members in the band anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just falling apart. Same way with Rat. You got two guys in Rat.
Rat's not falling apart. Rat is like what's left after you hook a body up to the back of your truck and just drive it for fucking 30 miles. It's just scattered pieces of ick everywhere.
Yeah.
Just a disaster at this point.
I mean, I know that these guys, feel that they need to go make a living, or they want to be creative, or whatever drives them to continue on, but they're destroying their legacy.
Destroying or destroyed?
Well, both.
What would you say about Rat today? Being honest, destroying?
It's been destroyed. I mean, the last 4 years have basically destroyed that brand.
Is there any coming back?
No.
I mean, if they got everybody, the original guys and Carlos back, would it matter at this point?
I would think that they would have to take an extended break before that they would be able to do that.
Like 2-3 years?
Yeah, they'd have to be gone for a while and then come back with the original lineup.
And I'll tell you what, some of the video we're seeing of Steven, I don't know that I would bet more than 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. So if anything like that were to have any success at all, or have any chance of success, is they'd have to disappear from the scene.
Right.
Because between the the lineup that seemed to have been working all right, the one that we saw at Rock USA, with pretty much the original lineup, with Carlos on guitar,
right?
That seemed to have been working for pretty well. And then with Bobby Blotzer's version, and now with the current version that's out there, there's not been any break there at all.
Yeah, no, there really hasn't.
Because once Blotzer was knocked off the road, Steven and his crew took over.
Yeah, pretty much right away.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's again, to answer your question, if they were to have any kind of chance of successfully restoring what dignity there's left, they would have to go away for a while.
Just break up now, or hiatus right now and come back on the 40-year anniversary or something?
Yeah, something like that.
That's about it. That's the only way I could see it working.
So,
But dude, you know what? Who knows? I bought tickets yesterday to this pop show, and it's like all people that were like had almost no success in like 1987, 88, and 89.
Okay, like who?
It's New Kids on the Block. They're the big one, and they had some success. Obviously.
Now who's in this lineup? Is it all original?
I think that one is all original. I don't know. I plan on leaving early.
Okay.
I'm not a New Kids fan, so I don't know anything that they did, but other than Hang Tough. But it's them, Salt and Pepper, and they had what, one hit or two?
They had like two, maybe three.
2 or 3. Tiffany. She had one, and it wasn't even her song.
Well, she had more than one.
No, she didn't.
Sure she did.
Tiffany? What did she have other than I Think We're Alone Now?
Well, she did Crystal Blue Persuasion. She did some Tommy James songs.
I didn't know that. I didn't know she did Crystal Blue Persuasion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did that, and she had a couple of them.
I saw her at a mall once.
Well, that's the only place she could perform.
Yeah. I saw her at a mall. And then who else? Debbie Gibson's on the bill. She had a couple of hits.
Yeah, she was kind of fun to watch
in
the videos.
Yeah, a little cutie. Now she'll probably look like some fucking housewife.
No, not really. I've seen her. She's Deborah. She's Deborah Gibson.
Oh, is she Deborah now?
Yeah, she's not Debbie anymore. She's Deborah. And she's got kind of a sophisticated middle-aged look, but she's kind of classy.
Okay. I'm trying to think of who the other ones were on this show. It was I'm looking now. I'm trying to remember who Who is on this show? It's not till like May of next year.
Okay.
It's New Kids Salt. Oh, and Naughty by Nature. Gonna get some OPP.
Yeah, see, I couldn't name one song.
Well, you know OPP. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You know that one, don't you?
I don't think I do.
Dude, come on. Pull that up on Spotify. You know OPP.
Naughty by Nature, OPP.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody knows that song.
Well, let me pull it up.
Army with Harmony.
Okay. I don't know.
You gotta know that one.
Nature, OP. It's just called OPP.
Yeah, if you look up Naughty by Nature, it has to be the first song in songs.
Okay. Let's take a look here. All right, let me see what this is.
It's like their only hit.
All right, I got to hear it.
Army with Harmony. Dave, drop a load on 'em. OPP, how can I explain it? I take it frame by frame it. To have y'all all jumping, shouting, saying it. O is for other, P is for people scratch a temple. The last P, well, that's not that simple. It's sorta like another way to call a cat a kitten. It's 5 little letters that are missing, yeah. You get it on occasion if the other party isn't gaming. It seems I gotta start to explain it. Bust it. You ever had a girl that met her on a nice hello? They get her name and number, then let feeling real mellow. You get home late today, she's what you wanna know about. Do you call up in this a girlfriend's or a cousin's house? It's not a front, a F to the R to the O to the N to the T. It's just a boyfriend's out of house.
Wait a minute.
It's
don't know
okay
this?
with some other people's, but you get it. There's no room for relationships, there's just room to hit it. How many brothers out there know this what I'm getting at? Who think it's wrong cause I was splitting and co-hitting that? Well, if you do, that's OPP and you're not down with it. But if you don't, here's your membership. You down with LPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with LPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with LPP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with LPP? Every last on me. You down with LPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with LPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with LPP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with LPP? Oh, well, for the ladies, OPP.
Got to be honest with you, I don't know this.
You don't know OPP?
Nope, I sure don't.
Steve Jackson is pointing out that they also had Hip Hop Hooray, and he is right. That was a big hit.
Yes, I don't know this one at all.
No shit.
Mm-mm.
Dude, I would have thought, especially with you working in the clubs in the 80s.
I don't recall ever playing that song.
So did you just, like, zone out anything that had, like, hip-hop or R&B in it in
Well,
the 80s?
to be honest with you, I don't think that we played much hip-hop music in the club. We played the dance music.
Okay.
But not the hip-hop stuff, you know?
So what would you know? Would you know stuff like, I don't know, Frankie Goes to Hollywood?
Yes.
So you were in Depeche Mode and that
Yes.
kind of shit?
Yes.
All right.
That was more dance-oriented. This is more kind of rappy, you know?
Yeah.
We didn't really do any rap in the club. It was just the Lisa and the Cult Jam and,
Okay.
you know, Young MC and,
Right.
you know, things like that, but nothing like that. So I never heard that song.
No shit.
No.
Dude, that is such a fucking pop culture song.
Yeah.
That was a big hit. That it's just surprising that never even crossed your TV or anything.
Nope.
Surprising to me.
That one got away from me.
Well, it happens. I'm sure you're not going to go back tomorrow and listen to it either. So.
No, not at all. Not in the least. So this is basically like the 80s tour or something.
Yeah, it's like 80s, 90s, something like that. I don't know. Dude, why they release these fucking shows like 9 months in advance is ridiculous.
Well, because they got to get ticket sales.
Yeah, but where this is a good game. Where do you think that show is happening at? It's on May 4th.
Okay.
Look.
I'm not looking. I'm trying to think. So I would say that it might be at like the Cleveland Music Hall or something.
Too small.
Well, where is it?
The Q.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't fathom that it's going to do well at the Q.
No,
but
I would imagine they would probably close off the top tiers.
I have a feeling it might get canceled, you know, because even the starting tickets were not crazy expensive. That's why I'm going, is because the tickets were fairly cheap.
Okay.
They were like $50 a ticket.
Well,
So
that
it's-
is cheap
all right.
for all those bands and acts.
Yeah, for me, $50 ticket, shit, I'll take that any day of the week. Spend $300 fucking whatever for Bob Seger.
Right.
$50 a ticket, I'm in. It's too funny though.
Well, good enough.
Yep. So my ticket buying continues.
Well, I like the fact that you're getting out of the house.
Yeah, I'm just getting out there, going to any show anymore. If it comes, I'm going to it. I don't care. I'm going to see Dave Landau next Friday.
Really? Where is he performing?
The Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too far for you.
And if anybody wants to go to that show, which they should, because Landau is funny as fuck, but the tickets are cheap as hell. They're $12 tickets.
Can't beat that.
No, $12 tickets Friday and Saturday.
I think that guy that used to tour around with Sam Kinison had played there one time years ago.
Oh, really?
What was his name? Carl LeBeau?
Carl LeBeau?
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to have like some names there. They seem to have all of the old Opie and Anthony comics seem to come through there. I see Rich Voss is on the schedule to go see him there, and Robert Kelly, and seems like they all seem to stop by there. Which, dude, I'm excited to see Landau.
Sure.
Just because I watch the Kumia thing every single day.
And you interviewed him, right?
I did. I interviewed him, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks ago, something like that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going to that next Friday. That'll be fun. And then the following Monday, I think, is getting high on the new thing with Chips Enough.
Well, there you are.
So I'll be traveling again. I took this week off, but next week I'll be back on the road, as they say.
And that's going to be at the House of Blues in Cleveland, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know how much you enjoy that place.
I hate that fucking room, but I'm going to that, and then is the week after, the Saturday after that, I'm going to spend my birthday with all of us here on the Classic Metal Show.
All right.
Yeah, whoopee. Which I, of course, got chastised over.
Why?
You can't blow off your show for your birthday? No. No.
Well, my birthday comes and goes every year, and if I never acknowledge it, it never would even,
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, it's Christmas Day. I mean, what am I going to do?
Yeah. Everybody knows your birthday. It's the birthday of Jesus.
That's right.
Meaning you.
Jesus cometh.
Yeah. Apparently, by quite a few people in my life, I'm supposed to celebrate my birthday this year because it's the big 50.
Well, you know what? The thing is that when it comes to birthdays and whatnot, the people that I know that make a big deal about birthdays,
Yeah.
and to me, I never understood it.
I don't get it.
You got to do this, or you have to do that, or you have to sell it. You need to be celebrated. It's like,
No.
Why?
I celebrate all the time. See, it's the same. Me and you are exactly the same on this one aspect. I don't want to say that we're exactly the same on Christmas because Lord knows I've never put a present in the closet. But we are the same with that. It's like I'm not going to wait for a specific day of the year to buy the shit that I want. I might not live to that day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy it today. And if that means that I don't leave you anything to fucking buy me for my birthday or Christmas or whatever, so be it. I don't give a shit. I've when I was young, when I was real young, 17, 18, 19, 20, and I was always looking for the next reason to get fucked up, yeah, I celebrated birthdays. But once it got to where I was, I don't know, married, I guess, and and this is one of those weird things, but her and I have the same exact birthday, day, month, and year. Such a fucking weird thing.
It is.
But it ruined birthdays for me, because then I could never have a cool birthday. There was a birthday expectation for me at that point. At that point, the expectation was that, okay, we're going to go out to dinner. We're going to go to the nice restaurant. Then I'm going to give you some flowers. And then, then I'm going to fuck you, I guess. But, I mean, there was that fucking expectation of what the birthday had to be.
Right.
And that wrecked it for me, because it was never fun anymore. It was, it was like another work day. It literally was like punching the fucking clock to celebrate the birthday. I'm so glad that I don't have to do that anymore. And, for the last, I think, 2 birthdays, I think me and Kelly just went and had some dinner or something. Honestly, I know last year we did, because I remember where we went, because the food was really good. But I don't remember the year before what we even did. Maybe drank. That sounds like me. I don't know.
I'm sitting here thinking back.
Yeah.
And trying to remember what I did for my 50th.
Right.
And I got to be honest with you, I don't think I did anything.
Well, that would have been, what, 3 years ago?
4 years ago.
Were you dating anybody at the time?
No.
Then you didn't do anything.
No.
Because if you weren't dating anybody at the time, then it's all up to you, and you ain't going to celebrate you.
Nope.
That is not in your DNA at all.
I think that might have been one of my better birthdays, because I don't think anybody got me anything, and I don't think I did anything.
Dude, think about it. The only time in your adult life you've ever celebrated your birthday was when you had a chick, because they want to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you're left to your own devices, what are you going to do? You're going to sit in your house. For me, I know you don't drink, but for me, I'm going to sit in my house, drink, and fucking watch movies.
Yeah, well, I think that's what I did on my 50th.
Yeah, just hang out with a cocktail or 30 and fucking watch TV.
Yeah, I was just trying to think, what transpired,
Dude, I've only had, since I got single, I've had 2 birthday parties. They were both in 2012. They were the one at my house that I just got a night where like 100 fucking people showed up to my house.
Right.
So, and there was wine spilled all over the place, and people wanted me to dive through the fucking foosball table. It just got crazy in my house. It got fucking stupid. I woke up the next morning to an absolutely destroyed fucking house. I mean, like, dude, it looked like that hurricane damage in Florida,
right,
in my house. And then obviously we re-celebrated my birthday like 2 weeks later at the club. And you remember how that went?
Oh yeah.
That didn't go well. The infamous lost show.
Yeah.
That did not go well at all.
No.
And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not having birthday parties for me anymore, because I can't handle. I get too sucked into it, and I get too wild, and Lord knows it just turns. You get that many people and me drinking a lot, and it just gets fucking out of control. I don't know how you, just in general, you're good at, even if there's like 100 people in the room, you're like okay to just have like 2 or 3 drinks.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I got to be honest with you. I don't like the feeling of being too far gone to where I don't have control of my faculties.
I love it.
I don't. Because number one, it's not like in those situations to where I can just go to bed.
Right.
I usually have to either pack up gear or I have to drive somewhere, like to a hotel or, whatever it is that I'm doing. And it's just like, I don't have that ability just to be able to let it all loose and just get obliterated. And, I wake up where I wake up,
I love it.
I'm sure you do.
Dude, I am the worst kind of alcoholic that there is, because I love the taste and I love the feeling, and I don't really get hungover very often, and I can just keep going for long, long periods of time where everybody else is falling by the wayside. I can just keep on drinking.
Right.
It is a scary scary. You've seen it up close. It is a scary prospect when I get going.
Well, it's blackout drunk.
It really is when I get to that. And it only gets that way, though, if I'm around a lot of people, because I get into the whole, okay, let's do a shot with you, and let's do a shot with you, and let's drink a toast with you. And before I know it, I've done 20 shots and 15 beers, and I'm drinking. And I don't have the control to just drink like one thing. Like if it seems like for most people, if they drink one thing, they're okay.
Right.
You know, if they drink only whiskey, they're fine. Or if they drink only beer, they're fine. Me, I drink everything that's put in front of me. So I'll drink 10 shots of vodka and 10 more shots of whiskey and 2 beers and 3 gallons of fucking wine or whatever. You know, I will drink all of it. And then I just, you know, then you just have no control over anything. Your brain doesn't know what to fucking do.
Sure.
You know, so yeah, I think I'll avoid the 50th birthday party.
Well, I'll be the big 5-5 on Christmas this year.
Look at you. Wow. It's amazing. You're 55, I'm 50, but it's almost a guarantee that I will fucking die in front of you. Your old ass will be at my funeral.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just in all how you take care of yourself. That's it.
No, dude, everybody's different on what they want, and you either want to live forever or you don't. And, you know, I live for today. You know, I mean, I've been dead, and I tell this story, and I don't say it as like a joke necessarily, but I literally have been dead. And once you've been dead and you come back from it, you live for the day.
Right.
You do not. I do not at all ever think. I mean, think about it, dude. Have you ever once heard me say, well, in 5 years when I'm, have you ever heard me say that?
Not really. You just said in 5 years when I'm dead.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I've ever said 5 years for is that I'd be dead. I don't think further than tomorrow because there's no, you know, I was 26 years old and dead on a slab and wasn't supposed to live, you know, another minute, let alone whatever it's been now, 20, what would that be? 94.
So you're 24 years.
24 years. I wasn't supposed to get these years. So I live for every minute of them. And Lord knows I wasted a bunch of them fucking after with a certain other person. So now I sure as fuck ain't going to waste any of them.
Right.
Not 1 minute of it.
Of course.
You know, got to have some fun.
Yep. Well, I agree with that.
You know, I have this, I tell my kids this all the time. It's like, you know, I'm not going to leave you any money, but I'll leave you businesses. And at my eulogy or whatever, you know, slap anybody that fucking says that I didn't accomplish shit. Because that's all I really want is at the end is that people will be able to say, well, that was the hardest working fucker I ever knew.
Right.
You know, that's all I want. If I get that, doesn't matter what I necessarily accomplished or whatever. You know, nobody's going to say, man, that was one lazy son of a bitch. and that's a good thing, you know. And for me personally, I've already left a legacy. There's 10,000 hours of me talking. You know, there's 5 books. There's and more coming, hopefully 6 or 7 or 8 by the time it's all said and done. And, dude, who else has that? You know, that's pretty good.
Not a lot. But, you know, it always goes back to that, you know, the memorialization of people who have passed away. It's not for the person who passed away. It's for the living.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully people have a good time at the party. That's what I hope for. I hope that people will just watch. I have like this video thing that I recorded of, you know, what I want. I did my own eulogy thing and it's pretty funny. And, you know, that's what I hope is that people watch that and be like, all right, that's how this guy's supposed to fucking go. You know, so no tears today. That's the hope. But really, if there is tears, I don't give a fuck because I sure won't see it.
Right.
Somebody else's problem.
You're just selfish, man.
I am. On death, I am absolutely selfish. Fucking right I am. It's my death, you know. Once I'm done, I'm done.
Right.
I'm sure not going to be one of these guys going, well, I hope I earned my metal wings so me and Brian Badass Boone can announce that great band with Lemmy and Dime and whoever else in the sky.
I saw somebody make a comment about Brian Badass Boone here recently. I don't remember if it was on one of our YouTube pages or if it was on the CMS Facebook or something like that. But somebody threw in the Brian Badass Boone reference.
Meanwhile, that guy's whole legacy for the CMS is, 20 seconds long? Or maybe, 20 minutes?
It was about 20 minutes. We did the whole critiquing the eulogy.
Yeah. We critiqued his eulogy, which, boy, that's just brutal. What was wrong with us?
But it was just so ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it was ridiculous. They asked us to be involved in it. We didn't know this guy at all.
Right.
I mean, we literally, at least I did not know him at all.
I didn't know the guy.
I had never spoken to him once.
No.
You know, and they're like, well, it would be important. It would be helpful if you guys would say something for him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we did. Unfortunately, we made fun of it.
Right. Well, they were playing that morose Lord's Prayer recording.
Yeah, it's just bad.
And
then you had that girl crying.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, Brian would sit here and he would talk in the microphone. I was like, oh my God, get over yourself. He's dead. Move on.
Yeah.
Step over the body and introduce the next song. Fuck.
Oh my. I don't know. Do we have a different sense of life and death than most people?
No. You know what? I don't think so. I think what we have is we both agree on when you're done, you're done. There's no ghosts. There's no ascension. There's no nothing. When you're done, you're done. And that's where I think we're different. I think everybody, when they look at death, they have this weird vision like they're still going to be somehow experiencing what happens. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They can't fathom in their own head what the world without them. So they invent this mystical thing that they're like, that they're somehow going to be overseeing, you know, their friends and their family, and it's nonsense. It's just nonsense. When you take your last breath, there's a reason your eyes go black. It's because the fucking lights are off, friends.
Yeah.
That's it. Click, click. Good night. Goodbye. You're done. Somebody else's problem. You know? I mean, it's as simple as that. And I think both of us have that same sense, or at least I think you're in that.
Well, my attitude is you can't really do anything about it, and you can't change it. It's an inevitable thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've dealt with life and death issues all the way back to when I was just a child. I had a brother, an older brother, that when I was I think I was just barely 5.
Right.
He got hit and killed by a car right in front of the house.
Oof. Boy, that had to be fun.
You know, so at 5 years old, you know, dealing with the death of a sibling.
Yeah.
You know, that dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that set the tone for me of not having being overly, I don't know what you want to call, sensitive about it.
Right.
Because, you know, my mother was killed in a car wreck back in 85.
Right.
You know, when I was 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's just, I dealt with it. You know, it's just part of life. So I guess I have kind of a matter of fact attitude about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not, I mean, I understand it's a horrific thing for some people to deal with as far as their grief is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But me, it just doesn't seem to affect me that way.
Oh, but the reason they have such grief is because they don't believe that elements of their life is going to end. You know, dude, anybody that loses their shit over somebody dying, and I get it, you love that person and they're gone. I get that part, and that hurts. But to have overwhelming grief that lasts you for years and years and years means that in the years and years and years prior to it, you didn't prepare yourself knowing that the odds were good that everybody fucking dies.
Right.
You know, you didn't prepare yourself, and all of a sudden it happens. You're like, how could this have happened? Well, it happens because it happens to everybody.
Right.
You know, and I'm going to answer Jason in the chat room. What about everything that you learned in theology class? I'm not going to accept the term learned, Jason. I'm going to say I was taught principles of theology. I was not in theology class trying to be one with the Lord. I was just studying religion. And that's the difference. I mean, for the longest time, I bought into a lot of that stuff, and I don't know what I believe, but I don't think on that level. I just don't. I find people that live their life trying to tote a religion or a book to be ridiculous. They don't involve the real world enough to understand that their book was written 2,000 years ago, and most of the principles don't apply. That's what I think. Sorry.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, boys. How you going? Aussie Ace.
Hey, Aussie Ace. What's happening with you in Australia?
It's been raining here for a week. But, yeah, all good. But I wanted to just tap into the ghost story.
The ghost stories?
The ghost story I've got.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now, my father doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, never had weed, anything. He was he was an accountant and farm refrigeration manager for the Queensland Butter Marketing Board. So he had a big factory near the airport, Brisbane Airport. Dad worked there his whole life, and he'd also go out and see farmers, order parts for their Canadian, from Canada for their vats, etc., etc. So he never drunk, never stopped at a pub, anything like that. Now, there was a guy who was the cleaner there, and because Dad worked there for 40-odd years, he'd seen him come and go. Now, there was a lady who used to write books, and she sat in this particular spot at a table, and that's what she would do at lunchtime. Now, this cleaner, he'd never seen her, ever. And he's come up to Dad, and Dad said he was Christian, he wasn't, an alcohol, anything like that, because Dad used to employ. He was the type that if you had a tattoo, bang, you don't get the job. So this guy comes up and goes, Elf, I saw this lady sitting at a table last night. I just want to check that. And my father said he described her to a T. Same spot, everything. And I said to Dad, you never mentioned any of that to us when we were kids and that. Dad said, well, I wasn't fucking going to bring any of that home. And then he said, okay, and here's the second story. Where people used to clock on in the card, it's about in your 100 metres, say 100 metres, 2 doors at each end, a hallway. And Dad said he'd work back there at night, and he would hear the clock machine go. And he'd go out there and look at it, because my dad was like, not the scared type or anything like that. He'd go out there, and he would check over 100 cards. None of them had been punched. And he said as he's walking back, he's feeling the breeze go past him. Last story, they had an elevator there for 3 levels that had the little glass panel that you could look through. Well, it was rule every night someone had to leave the lift on the bottom. And Dad said he walked past there and he saw eyes looking out at him. And 3 people did die building that building. So Dad said occasionally when he locked up at night, he saw something in the window. But he said, what do you do? And the cleaner, where the Coke machine was, he would start in the far corner with his mop, go back in there because he'd hear a can crash down. But, there were no footprints or anything. And he's like, you know, Alf, whatever. And my father just said to him, look, buddy, 3 people died here. You know, just move on. So my dad told me, I don't know, when I was like 21, I suppose. And I was like, why didn't you tell me that? He said, well, if I came home and said, I saw the ghost again, like, your mother, your sister would have been like, you know, all scary. So, and I believe my old man, so I don't know. But to describe that lady, yeah, he said that's the one that threw him.
So what mental hospital is he in today?
Get the fuck out. He's not in any mental hospital now. His brain's functioning perfectly. He's fine. Yeah, he's never done anything like that. So, but anyway, and that's about the only story I've ever believed. But in saying that, when his father was about to die, he did say to his father, mate, come back, come and see me if you're a ghost, blah, 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 and all that. So I said, well, he'd never come back. But those stories, he said, and 3 people died at that place. And actually now that building's been knocked down, and that's where you catch cruise ships now near the Brisbane airport. So I don't know if they've gone for good or whatever, but yeah.
Well, maybe you can. Maybe you can invite them to come live at your flat.
Well, Mum's already kind of said that. Mum's like a Terminator. She walks in everywhere, catches buses and all that, and she'll outlive all of us probably. But I think when Dad does pass, maybe he's still fine now, just not getting around that good. Apparently his brain's shrinking. So it takes him a bit just to stand up, gets a bit dizzy, but he's functioning fine, you know. So
all right. Well, I'm glad to know about
I'll come and live over at your house, he said.
Well, I'm glad to know about your family history there, Ozzy. But I think your manager's calling.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fucking already booted me out. Hell and kill, fuck you, pals. Hands job.
There goes Ozzy Ace. All right, well, we got to get Eric on the phone.
Yes, we do.
Do you have a song you would like to bring Eric on with?
I'm going to be honest. I have not listened to the record other than just one time, and I don't know the names. I like the first tune, whatever that's called. You Only Live Twice. Is that it?
Yeah.
Play that one.
All right, we'll play that, and I'll get Eric on the phone, and we'll talk to him and find out what's going on.
All right.
So Stephen Piercy has a new solo release coming out in November. I believe it's due out November 9th.
Yes.
On Frontiers Records.
Mm-hmm.
It's called View to a Thrill.
Yes.
And our good friend Eric Ferentinos does all the guitars on this thing, and I think you'll dig it. So, you know how much at least I love the Smash record.
Sure.
Well, this one is turned up a notch or two. So here's something brand new from Stephen Piercy, the forthcoming release, View to a Thrill. We'll talk to Eric Ferentinos. So it's Only Live Twice exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show. We have tons of friends that are musicians, and what they care about most is their gear. If you are a gearhead, then you need to be shopping at Amplified Parts. They have everything from amplifier parts to speakers to effects pedals and more, with some of the best prices out there today. Visit them online at amplifiedparts.com or give them a call at 480-296-0890 and let them fill all of your gear needs today. When your gear is important, only shop with the best, Amplified Parts.